Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I personally farm Darksigner Kalin in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. As most of you guys know, the Market of the Darksigner event just started, and while it is a duel-thon, it's also a roaming event at the same time, so we're going to be able to farm Kalin in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and honestly, I'm so happy about this, because as most of you guys know, my favorite waifu is a Darksigner named Misty Treadwell, so the fact that Darksigner Kalin is in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is pretty sick, gives me the hope that possibly Misty's coming into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. So while this event is pretty lame and all that stuff right there, I'm still very happy that, you know, Darksiders and Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Anyways, though, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys two different deck lists that I'm going to be using. I'm going to first show you guys my pay-to-win version of to farm Kalin, which is honestly super easy to farm with, but at the same time, it's not consistent with getting 8k score, but for me personally, I'm okay with that. And then I'm also going to be showing you guys a free-to-play version of a deck, and it's going to be an Aromage deck list on how to farm Kalin. So if you guys are excited for this video, or if this video helps you out at any point, be sure to go hit that like button on the video down below. Anyways, though, like I said, I'm going to be first showing you guys my farm that is more pay to win. Credit where credit is due. I got both of these deck lists from Duel Links Meta's website himself. Be sure to go check the description down below if you want to check out the website. They have a lot of guides and all that stuff for when it comes into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Anyways, though, so this version isn't the exact version of the Silent Magician farm from Duel Links Meta. Duel Links Meta's farm ran 3 copies of the Tricky, 3 copies of Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, so on and so forth. But this version works perfectly fine for me personally. And basically, the objective of this one out, and I'll be showing you guys a replay on me successfully farming against Kalin with this farm deck right here. But basically, the objective of it is to get Silent Magician out right away. There's a couple cards that Kalin uses that basically spams out a bunch of Infernity monsters on the field, and you want to use Silent Magician to basically negate all of those from happening so that you don't get overpowered at all. But still, even if Kalin does get rid of your Silent Magician, which he's able to if he summons it to a 100 Eyes Dragon or whatever that Dark Synchro monster is called, you can go into Silent Magician level 8 through Silent Magician's effect to get Silent Magician level 8, which is pretty cool. So this is the deck list I'm going to be using. It runs 1 copy of Silent Magician level 8, 1 copy of the Tricky. If you have 2 or 3 copies of Tricky, I'd recommend running that. We have 3 copies of Silent Magician, 2 copies of a Spellbook Magician and Prophecy. If you have 3, run 3 copies of this card. We have 1 copy of Gravekeeper's Vassal. We have 3 copies of Dark World Dealings. This was honestly my substitute to really get this deck going, because originally from the deck list that where I got this deck list from Duel Links Meta, basically the original combo is running 3 copies of the Tricky to basically special summon the Tricky, discard a Silent Burning, use Silent Burning's effect to search for Silent Magician, to then sacrifice your Tricky to go into Silent Magician. But due to the fact I don't have 3 copies of the Tricky, I'm substituting Dark World Dealings, which does the job. I get to thin out my deck, and I am able to search out, like if I have Silent Burning in my hand, I can discard that for Dark World Dealings, and it works out. Also, what's pretty nice too is that Kalin's deck is a handless deck anyway, so most of the time when I use Dark World Dealings as it is, he has no cards in his hand, so he's forced to draw a card and then discard it right away. So this card actually works out in most cases. So if you have multiple copies of Dark World Dealings and no copies of the Tricky, run Dark World Dealings. It works just as well. Or if you have multiple copies of the Tricky and you don't have multiple copies of Dark World Dealing, then run more copies of Tricky compared to Dark World Dealing. So there's that right there. Except we're running 3 copies of Spellbook of Secrets. It's going to help us thin out our deck. It's going to help us search into our Blue Boy, so then we can use Blue Boy to summon into a Silent Magician, which is pretty cool right there. Except we have anti-magic arrows, so we can stop the back row from happening. We have a Union Attack right here, which is also pretty nice. And we also have 2 copies of Union Attack to go for the final attack. If you don't have a second Prismatic Union Attack like I do, I'd recommend using an SR ticket to get this prismatic card, because I'm going to be showing you guys like the most successful farm that I had where I was able to get 8k score, because there's one farm where I did where I only got 6k score, and there's another farm where I did where I got 8k score because I needed to get Silent Magician out on the field. And honestly, after this video, I'm going to go get myself a prismatic Union Attack, because the only reason why I was able to get to 8k score was because I used a XP boost where you get 1,000 extra XP result. But at the same time, I think I would have been fine if I had another prismatic copy Union Attack. So getting prismatic Union Attack isn't that bad if you have a bunch of SR tickets in Duel Links and that are prismatic. Go for that so you get as much score as you can with this deck. Next up, we have 2 copies of Silent Burden, mostly search out for Silent Magician, and then we have the Secret Passive Treasures to go into that. So I'm going to show you guys the duel replay where I was the most successful with this Silent Magician farm, and then after the Silent Magician farm, I'm going to show you guys the Aromage deck list that is more free to play friendly. Most of you guys are probably going to be using, but I personally find this Silent Magician farm deck way better than the Aromage one because it's a lot easier to use and you don't get as punished too much. Because fun fact, or what you're going to notice later in this video, is that when I show you guys my Aromage replay, I actually messed up with the Aromage replay, and that was completely my fault. There's a couple mistakes that you can do with the Aromage replay that I want to specifically show you guys, just in case you mess that up. So that's why I like this Silent Magician deck more, because you don't get as punished as hard if you do a misplay whatsoever. So there is that right there. Anyways though, so what I had to do right away is I wanted to go for restart. My hand wasn't really that good and I wasn't able to summon into Silent Magician right away, but with this hand I was able to easily summon into Silent Magician. I normal summon on my blue boy, search out for my Spellbooks of Secrets, and then I I sacrifice my Silent Magician. And one tip that I strongly recommend you guys to do is that don't use all of your search cards, or don't use all your Dark World dealings up with Silent Magician. You want a Silent Magician to at least be at 2500 attack before you pass your turn, because Kalin is able to get some of his Infernity monsters to over 2000 attack points very easily. I think his Infernity Archfiend, if he gets like a bunch of Infinities on the field, his Infernity Archfiend is able to get to 2200 attack. So make sure your Silent Magician is at 2500 attack at all times. And like I said, you want Silent Magician on the field in order to negate cards like Infernity Launcher, because Infernity Launcher, once per turn, you can send an Infernity monster from your hand to graveyard. Then you can send this card to the graveyard, and then up to 2 Infernity monsters to your graveyard to special summon them. Like, you want to stop this card from happening, because this card's going to help him to, or it's going to help Kalin into summoning of the 1000 dragons from his extra deck. So there's that right there. We got rid of the Infernity Launcher. He's going to set one card face down, pass his turn. I couldn't draw due to the restart, so I just passed my turn immediately, and then we gotta get going from here. Gonna activate my Dark World dealings, discard my Spellbook of Secrets, because I only have 2 blue boys in my deck as it is, so I wasn't able to use my Spellbook of Secrets anymore, so I just used that to thin out my deck with Dark World dealings. We out here. I switched my Silent Magician to defense position for a very specific reason right here. So what I've noticed with this farm is that you want to get Silent Magician level 8 and Silent Magician on the board in order to get 10,000 attack points. If you have 2 Silent Magicians on the board, which I'll kind of show you guys in the end, but if you get 2 Silent Magicians on the board, your combo with the Gravekeeper Vassal and Union attack is not going to give you enough attack points in order to go for that 10,000 points of damage. So I want to get my Silent Magician at level 8 on the field so I can guarantee the opportunity to get that 10,000 attack bonus right here. Anyways, we're going to see Infernity Launcher right there. I'm going to negate it with my Silent Magician because I don't want Kalin to do anything ridiculous. He's going to flip up his Dark Grepher. I was worried right here that something bad was going to happen, but luckily nothing too bad happened right here. My Silent Magician was alive, so that was good. Draw a card, pass turn. Kalin's going to be putting his monsters in defense position. We're just going to keep on going from here on out. Things are chilling. I basically just keep drawing cards, keep drawing cards, keep drawing cards. Right now, I use Dark World Dealings, discard my Silent Burning, use Silent Burning to search out for Silent Magician. As you can see, this deck thins out itself so well, and it's honestly pretty consistent. And this deck has worked out pretty well for me. So I prefer this deck more, but like I said, I'm going to show you guys a more free-to-play version after this. Anyways, though, so this is the final turn right here. So like I said, you're going to want to have both Silent Magician level 8, and you're going to want Silent Magician. Because as you guys know with Silent Magician, the attack of this card will lower the more cards. So if you have like a bunch of cards in your hand, that's how much attack it's going to gain. But if you don't have a lot of cards in your hand, then the attack points of Silent Magician is not going to be that much. With Union Attack 2, if you target a face of monster you control, add the total attack of all other face of attack position monsters you currently control. Then during the battle phase of this turn, only the monster gains that much attack, but it also cannot inflict damage to your opponent. So what happens is that if you only have 2 Silent Magicians out on the field, your Gravekeeper's Vassal is only going to get to around like 8k score, possibly with the double Union Attack. So you need to have that Silent Magician level 8 and plus Silent Magician, because Silent Magician will at least have 2,000 attack points. Then the rest of the attack points from level 8 is going to help you out. So what we do first is that we activate the Secret Pass of the Treasures. We target our Gravekeeper Vassal. Then we use our Union Attack and use both of our Union Attacks to go for Gravekeeper Vassal. Then we go for the direct attack with the Anti-Magic Arrows. And then we go for game right here. As you can see, we have 12,700 points of damage right there. And I was able to get 8k score, mostly due to an EXP booster. But like I said, if you have multiple prismatic or glossy cards, you'd be able to get there. Now the last deck I'm going to be showing you guys real quick is from a Yusei, and this is an Aromage farm that I also got from Duel Links Meta. I was able to build this deck pretty much exactly from the Duel Links Meta website, except for one exception where I needed to throw a Canadian in here because I didn't have a third copy of Wall Disruption. And the dual replay that I'm going to be showing you guys in this video was me failing the dual replay, but I was able to successfully farm into it. But I'm going to show you guys why I failed it. It was because of a user error that I really want you guys to pay attention to so you don't fail your own farm. So that's why I'm going to show you guys this fail of a farm that I did so that you guys don't make this mistake. Anyways, though, this is going to be the more free-to-play version. As most of you guys know, Aromages are from the card trader. So if you need to play Aromages, Aromage Jasmine and Rosemary are both from the card trader, so don't worry about that. And honestly, when it comes to back row, run any back row that you want as long as you protect yourself. But if you don't have Draining Shield, I strongly recommend, like, Draining Shield's like the most important. Every other back row card isn't that big of a deal. isn't that big of a deal, but still, like Curse of Anubis, Windstorm of Etaqua, these are both cards that are free to play. Draining Shield isn't too bad to get into, but like, so if you have 1 to 2 copies of it, be sure to get Draining Shield. If not, then substitute any other cards that you have that are able to protect yourself. Like Econ could be a good substitute for a Draining Shield for a couple of reasons, because I know Kalin has a card in his deck that he can attack you directly, and you can't activate your back row. So play cards like Econ that you can play before he attacks you, and all that stuff right there. Anyways, though, this deck list is using the Wing Dragon Ra, 3 copies of Aromage Jasmine, 3 copies of Aromage Rosemary, 1 copy of Anti-Magic Arrows, 1 copy of Arrivalrivals, 3 copies of Aroma Garden, 1 copy of Canadia. Substitute this if you don't have it. 3 copies of Draining Shield. This is a must-have, but if you don't have it, and run any other, like, just type in like life points. Type in like a life points in the search bar right here, and then like pick some cards that you personally think would help you out that are spell and trap card related. Like, yeah, Rainbow Life. Rainbow Life could possibly be a decent one. Not too good, because I think the NPC will not attack you, but you can probably skim out a couple life points from him. So just look up just life points in your spell trap section and see if you can find any replacements for Draining Shield. But if you have 3 Draining Shield, please run the card. 2 copies of Wall of Disruption, and then 1 copy Curse of Anubis and Windstorm. Both of these cards are you can get Windstorm from leveling up mine to 25, and I believe you can get Curse of Anubis from leveling up Odion to level 25. And then we're also using Life Point Boost A. Now I'm going to show you guys the replay on how to set up your board, and then I'm going to also show you guys my fatal mistake on why I wasn't able to successfully complete this farm. So let's get into it. And also keep in mind too, this replay that I'm going to be showing you guys is going against Kalin at level 30. As you can see, we have your boy Dark Signer Kalin Kessler. Pretty epic right there. So it's like, even though this event is like lame, I'm still happy that we have at least a Dark Signer in Duel Links. I can't wait to unlock Kalin. It'll be awesome. Anyways, we have our Life Point Boost A, and this hand was horrible. Like, I was really sad that I opened up with a hand like this, because it was a yikes. Luckily though, things did kind of work out. Like I said, at the very end of this duel, I made a big mistake. Anyways, Dark Signer Kalin's going to be activating his effect. He's going to summon into this dog right here, and apparently Infernity Beast, if this card attacks, so if you have no cards in your hand, opponent cannot activate and spell and trap cards. So that's annoying. So I was not able to capitalize with Draining Shield, which was pretty obnoxious to me. Top deck it to another Draining Shield, which made me mad because I can't even use it against the doggo, which was annoying. He summons into Infernity Mirage, special summons 2 monsters, and I feel like, are you kidding me? And then he starts thinning out his deck with his Infernity Beetle, which was also crazy annoying right here. But then on the battle phase, I had my toggle to on. If you don't have your toggle on, it's one of the settings right here. Turn on your toggle button, and then turn it to on, so that during the battle phase before Dark Signer Kalin attacks, you can activate your Windstorm and kind of go from there. So that's what I did. Probably should have Draining Shield, but it's whatever. Next up, we top deck into the Curse of Anubis. He activates his Foolish Burial. Thins out that card. I activate my Curse of Anubis before he attacks into me, switch him all to defense position, and then this is where things started to go my way. So we're going to summon into Aromage Jasmine, and we're going to combo with Aroma Garden. Aromage Jasmine and Aroma Garden is going to be your method to, 1, thin out your deck, and also to get that 10,000 life points. Because as you guys know, you're going to want to get as much life points as you can with the Winged Dragon Ra to go for the final attack for this. So we use Aromage Jasmine, we activate Aroma Garden, we gain some life points, we drew a card. Keep going from there. Now, I was fully aware that we were going to lose some life points right here, but luckily a Wall of Disruption that kind of clutches through. So we take a bunch of damage right here, and then this point, I really should have activated my Draining Shield first and then go for Wall of Disruption so I can gain some life points, but it isn't the end of the world. It worked out in the end, except for the very, very end. Summon another Aromage Jasmine. We activate its effect, draw a card. Boom, bada bang. Should have summoned a Wall of Disruption, but 2 Draining Shields is perfectly fine. All these monsters you get to switch to defense position. We're kind of good from here. We switch our Jasmine into defense position. Activate Aroma Garden's effect yet again, and then we kind of go for the draw right there, and we just kind of keep thinning our deck out here on out throughout the entire duel. I set Aromage Jasmine to protect myself. Or no, I need to get that Aromage Jasmine, so I have 2 monsters on the field, because on the final turn, you're going to want to summon Aromage Rosemary, and then use Arrivalrivals to sacrifice all 3 of your monsters to get into the Winged Dragon Ra. So there we go. We keep drawing, we keep thinning out our deck, where things are just going smoothly. He's going to summon his Infernity Destroyer. He's going to sacrifice both of them, and check this out. I love the animation for this, that they actually did a special animation for Dark Synchro Summoning. That's pretty cool in my opinion. So we have a 100 Eyes Dragon. Let's see this boy right here. Sadly, there's no summoning animation for it, but still really cool nonetheless. 100 Eyes Dragon's effect's going to activate. He's going to do Infernity Launcher shenanigans, sacrifice 100 Dragon, just kind of goes with the whole thing right here. Summons a bunch of Infernity monsters, and then this is where things. So I use a Draining Shield. I gain some life points. Use a Draining Shield again, and then I wasn't able to draw another card. Now this was where my fatal mistake happened right here, guys. This is where things was really bad for me. So what I did on accident is that I activated Aroma Garden to draw out a card. And then this is where I made a big mistake. So right here, my big mistake on why I lost the duel is because I activated Draining Shield when I had one card in my deck. Due to that, what happened was that when Infernity General is attacking into me, I activate my Draining Shield, I do gain life points, but due to the effect of Aromage Jasmine and Aroma Garden, or no, just Aromage Jasmine in general, since I gained life points, I had to draw a card, and then when Kalin ended his turn, I basically lost the duel right there because I decked out, which was a problem. Now, if you're in a situation like this, run cards like Wall of Disruption or Canadia. Don't play your Draining Shield so you don't finish off your final card of the deck. That is a big point right there. Anyways, though, I'm going to tell you guys how to play this out if you didn't do the mistake that I did. So on your final turn, if you have one card in your deck, on your final turn, you draw into your final card, you're going to normal summon Aromage Rosemary in an attack position. If Kalin's monsters are all in defense position, you're going to summon Aromage Rosemary, activate Rosemary's effect to switch Infernity Beast into attack position. Yeah, so you use Aromage Rosemary's effect to switch your opponent's monster into attack position. Then what you're going to do is that you're going to go into your battle phase. Yeah, you're going to go into your battle phase. I think you can do like a chain or whatever. I think you have to turn your toggle on, go to a chain where you use Arrivalrivals to sacrifice all 3 of your monsters, then chain your anti-magic arrows to then summon the Winged Dragon Ra, and then just go for game for a 10,000 attack. You got to do, I think you got to turn on your toggle so that you can activate Arrivalrivals and anti-magic arrows at the same time, because you can activate, because I think... Yeah, because with anti-magic arrows, it activates at the start of the battle phase, and you can use Arrivalrivals during the beginning of your standby or on your battle phase. So turn your toggle on, activate Arrivalrivals, follow up the anti-magic arrows to stop back row from happening, sacrifice all 3 of your monsters on the field, go into the Winged Dragon Ra, and go from game right there. I wish I had a visual representation to show you guys, but of course I made a mistake right there, and I don't want to procrastinate this video anymore. So there's that right there. So if you can play Silent Magician, I'd recommend you guys playing Silent Magician. If you can't play the Aromage, this is a free-to-play friendly deck to farm Kalin. You get the Egyptian God card bonus, the Prismatic bonus, all that stuff, so you should be good from there. But that is it for today's video right here. If this video helped you guys out and you haven't already, be sure to go hit that like button on the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content. Hope this farm guide helped you out by any means. Be sure to check the description if you need help with any deck lists and stuff like that, and I'll try to help you guys out in the comment section down below. Anyways, that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Video. Peace.